Hey guys, my name is Sam here. Today we'll be looking at a tier list of every step up that has a new unit that came out. And we'll be looking at the format and the banner feature units, of course. So starting at Z is the best step ups to come out, the ones that you should have summoned when they came out, unless you're not there, of course. S being, you should definitely summon when they come out, but they're not as good as Z tier. A tier is like average step ups, or like they're still better than the average banner, of course, but it's not. It's starting to get weaker. B is like average banner, and the C is just like below average banner. Even with the step up format of it, it's just not good, and usually reserved for the worst format units. It's usually for the worst format with the worst banner, of course. So we're going to start off with Kaioken Goku, which also featured LL, Beerus, and Kaioken Goku and Godku. And this banner was actually pretty good in terms of value, of course, because the format was probably one of the best. I would say it has one of the best. But like the Kaioken Goku, he was very good. He just kind of fell out a bit, and then the Vegeta kind of also fade out pretty quickly because really came out at that time and any units sucked. And Beerus and Goku were not good on release because they had no teams that could run them. Even though Sans could run Goku, but he was not the best free unit there. So I would also say this banner was pretty average, even though it had some good units, of course. They just all did not become male relevant, and the banner format itself was very good. Next up will be GT banner of Half Year Annie, and I think this banner is one of the best banners to come out, honestly. Let me see if I can get it up. Super stand for Goku. Banner. Is it this? I think it is, yeah. This banner. This on release, of course. For step up, I wanted to talk about the meta, how it infected an old metal, like not just based on what good units it had, but also the meta definedness of it. And this had Super Vegeta, which was probably one of the best LFs at the time. Super Saiyan 4 Goku was an incredible unit, and Baby was super good. Like honestly, Baby was probably the most impactful unit there. And Goku was pretty good. He was a good bench. This was good bench. This was good bench. But like thing is, back then like this is a very good banner. Even though like a lot of them could have been benches, it was very good benches for them. So I would say this was one of the best banners to come out yet. I would honestly say it's between Z and S, but I think it's probably a Z tier. This is Goten's banner. Goten's banner was very good actually. Like I honestly think he had a pretty crazy good banner from what I remembered. And can I actually find it? Let me give me a second. What was it falling for? Here we go. So we have the Family Kamehameha Goten. This banner was actually very good because every day it will reset when the date changes, so you can summon for 100 for way less than you can, and you get the only problem with this was like Goten was like only ticket exclusive, I think. No, he was not, but he had 4 times rates, which means that he had over 2% rates to get him, and that was a very good like format. Like I think this is one of the best formats because you can also reset it every single day, do a mini summon. It was pretty expensive, but I honestly got like Goku, and from that I got Gohan a lot throughout the summon itself, but on the date changes I kept on getting Goku, which is super good because Goku at the time was a very good support. He might have not been the best, but Gohan was a very good support defense unit, and Goten was just crazy good himself. And the banner is weird to look at, kind of, but I will remember this banner was actually pretty good. Like it had some crazy good units on here, and this banner was crazy good. Goku being very good, Goten being crazy good, and Gohan, the LF Gohan, was actually dominating with this team. So I think this banner was very good. I honestly think this is a guaranteed Z tier no matter what, better than GT, which is a very good banner. So let's look at the 6 universe banner. Was it this? Yes, this banner. This banner was actually, in hindsight, very underrated. Of course, I think this banner is actually one of the better banners. Of course, with Vegeta Blue still being very good. Namaku just getting a Zenkai if you can get him. He is very good for helping you, but People think he's underrated, but I think he's actually still good as I think he is. If Beerus has a Zenkai if you want, I don't think that's crazy, but Kaioken's bad. This guy is very good. This is good. And this Goku is alright. I mean, these both are actually alright. And then Champa is actually very good. Like, people underrate him, but I think he's one of the best heroes currently on Goku, along with Zenkai Vegeta, which some people don't want like use Zenkai, so it's either between him and Gogeta. I think this guy is actually better than Gogeta. And Vados is one of the best support units to come out. This banner, honestly, in my opinion, is super underrated, and these guys are Zenkais too. I think this banner had a very good format, right? This is not the format, but it's just regular format, of course, the old regular format. I think this banner is honestly an A tier banner, maybe an S tier. I think he's S tier. And then let's do Perfect Cell and Aleph Gohan and Perfect Cell. Is it here? The Step Up of Legend Step Up the Perfect Cell. Volume 2, of course, is the name of it. And this banner had a very controversial banner, of course. Even though Gohan ended up being one of the best units in the game, with Cell also being one of the best step units in the game, the Step Up itself was very controversial because you can only get Gohan on the ticket, which was 20%, which is still very high. It's just you don't get him on the actual banner. You can't get lucky with 100. You have to actually summon through the banner. It forced you to summon. And I remember the future here. The future is very weird, but the Cell was one of the best units. Like, it was a must summon, in my opinion. But the format really hurts, in my opinion. In hindsight, of course. Cell was one of the best units in the game. Cell was very good. And Gohan himself is a crazy unit. Of course, even got better even there as you go on. In hindsight, Gohan was actually one of the best units to come out. I think this mirror is honestly, like, despite the fact that it was technically a must summon, I think the format in hindsight made it way worse, and Cell and Gohan came back so many times that it didn't really matter anyway. Kind of, so I think this banner is an A tier banner, despite the fact that it was a must summon in terms of you must have Cell, kind of, but at the same time, the banner itself was not very good. UI Son Goku's. That banner, I don't know what to say of this banner. This banner is pretty good, but, like, actually, no, I think this is probably the last banner that I think is very good since the new banner came out. I think this banner had the last format of it, which I think is one of the best formats to come out, times 2 characters, everything else. This is very good banner. But honestly, this banner was super good, even without it. Like, you got these two guys who were super good, even though he got replaced by UI Son Goku. I think he has merit over UI Son Goku, of course, but I think UI Son Goku is probably the best LF to come out since himself. Like, he's so good. Like, he's very skilled at this. If you are skilled on this game, I think you want UI Son Goku. This Vegeta fell out, of course, so he's not very good, but he might get a Zenkai. This Goku has a Zenkai, and he's very good. And Beerus was still very good. I don't think there was any good green units come out yet, except for Vados. I think Vados at this time was not very great, because, like, Hercule was not as impactful, but now it is. But at this time, Beerus is very good. And you can make your own whole team with Dispo, Topo, and Jiren. They all could be on your team, and you could just build a team from this banner. And this banner is good for that because you didn't need a summon beforehand. This is a very great beginner banner, of course, because you can just make a team off this. And Kevlar is still very good, even to this day. I think Kevlar is still good here. Gohan is very underrated, of course. I think he's pretty good. I don't think he's crazy, but I think he's definitely good. And it is too good. And the hit was bad. The only bad unit on this banner, in my opinion. But overall, this banner was super good. I think this is honestly an A tier banner, S tier banner actually. Must have been at its time. Like, if you think about it now, if it probably would have been A tier, except for that fact that they changed the format. But I think this is probably the last good format to come out since then. And that's why I'm going to keep it in hindsight one of the better banners to come out. And then future banners of second year Annie. So I'm going to be controversial. I don't think it's Z tier. I think it's definitely not Z tier in my opinion. Of course. What is the name of this banner? Terror of Gods, I think. So this banner for me is like it has one of the best formats, of course. Oh, this is the wrong banner format. Well, I'm just gonna keep this. I just have to say that you guys can. But anyway, this is definitely the way better banner of Annie. Like Vegeta Blue was one of the best units in the action. I'm gonna change my mind. I think this banner is honestly S tier, almost Z tier, almost Z tier. It's like slightly so close. But Vegeta Blue was one of the best units to come out at the time. Gohan is like not good anymore, but it doesn't matter. He's gotten get Zenkai afterwards, so Science is actually very good. And Vegeta is very good. Zamasu though, he was one of the best units. Trunks was very underrated in my opinion. I think he was one of the best units in the game. One of the best. This guy was still very good. This is very good. Everyone else on the banner was kind of meh. But like these three units here just made the banner so good. You must have them. That's kind of how it was. This banner, S tier, S tier banner. I think this banner, what's it called? Was it Volume 2? Step Up, Majin Vegeta, and Super Saiyan 3. Sorry for that pause, but I didn't realize it was pausing. But Majin 4 Vegeta and the Black Friday first ever Black Friday banner, which Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Goku and Majin Vegeta. And I think it's an average banner. I don't think it's crazy good. I think it's the problem with this was the format was good. It's just that the units themselves were not crazy. I think it's an A tier banner. I think it's better than New Year's banner, of course. There's 2% free Goku was super good that you should have had him just because he was so good. Next up is Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and his banner was actually the better featured banner. It's like Super Saiyan 4 Goku was better, of course, but like you can literally build a team off him because you got this guy who's better than GT Goku, and these two were bad, but like everyone else was good. This guy was really good. This guy was good, good, and that's what the child was. And the elf was good. Namaku was actually better than the Super Vegeta, if I remember correctly, and Baby was one of the best units. So yeah, I'm back anyway. We're gonna be looking at the first year Annie banners. Let's go. Ooh. What? Sorry. Oh, this banner was probably one of the best banners in the game. Like, I remember selling so hard for Goku. Goku was so insane. Like, he's one of the best units in the game at that point in time. I think it was just mostly that Goku was not the best, but I think he was crazy. And Super Saiyan Vegeta was such a crazy unit at the time. I also rank this. Actually, I'm gonna move down. Put Super Saiyan 4 Vegetas down, but put this up here. And Golden Frieza, one of the best units. I think the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta banner had like better features, of course, but I think his unit was worse than Goku, and Buhan is worse than Golden Frieza. But I honestly put them both C tier. Just mere. This one's probably gonna be the first B tier, where I think it's like, barely average, but like the banner unit Frieza is super good. I think he was honestly very underrated, of course, and Bardock was very good. Actually, I think I might be able to find this banner here. Yeah, no, I can't. Anyway, I think this banner was very good because El Frieza was super good at the time, of course, but he was not the best. This banner, Kevlar's banner, I think Kevlar is one of the most best aging units to come out for a while. She is still pretty good now. She's not the best, of course, but her draw speed and her ability to get so many res are so annoying. Now I'm gonna give her A tier, but the thing is, Goten kind of sucked, but it's whatever. This banner. The banner is the start of just one of the worst formats. This one had no freeze multi, but I think Broly is one of the best, like one of the better elves to come out recently, and I think his banner is alright. And Frieza was super good, and also his banner himself was super good. Majin Vegeta's banner, he has a good format, I guess, and Revive Cell. Never one of the best aging units to come out, but I think his banner itself was not good. I think Majin Vegeta was kind of overrated in my opinion, so I'm gonna put it as an A tier banner. This banner, Rose. I think Vegeta's one of the best aging units to come out. He aged super well. And Rose was super good. One of the best Reds for a while, and I think he's still one of the best Reds right now. I think he was better than Whis, despite the fact that people did not think that. I think he's definitely better than Whis now. But honestly, I think this banner is another average banner for a step up because all step ups are super good. Like most step ups on average are just better than regular. I mean, A is just step ups averagely, but I think all the A banners are better than most step banners that came out at that time. 21. I think 21 actually hits S tier because I think 21 has one of the best C abilities for androids and regen and everything. And she herself was super good. And right now she is in consideration for one of she's the best purple still. Despite like her stats are very good. Namaku. What I remember from this future banner was that the banner kind of sucked into the future, but like Frieza was one of the best units to come out for Lineage of Evil, and Namaku was one of the best units at the time, and I'm honestly gonna put it above New Year's and above Black Friday, and so I think this banner was very good as a banner that came out after Super Vegeta. Transforming Rose and Saiyan. I think transforming Rose is super good, of course, but I think he's the only good unit that I can remember on banner. So I'm going to say that it's a good banner, but I'm going to put a B tier as one of the worst banners because, well, Rose ended up being really good. Grand Simon was good, but the banner itself was very overlooked. This banner right here is probably a C tier. It's probably one of the worst banners somehow because even though DMK Piccolo was great and Hercule was very alright, the banner itself was probably not the most memorable. But it was the first step up, so I will give it lenience and say that it will get better. So I'm gonna give it B, but I think it's honestly a C tier banner. Where I think it's C tier banners are part of the banners that are actually worse than regular banners. I think B tiers is banners aren't equal to like regular banners. Gogeta, the Gogeta banner. Yeah, that's a C tier banner. That banner is so bad. Like, I'm gonna look it up right now because I think you can look it up. The Gogeta banner. One of the worst banners to come out. Format sucked. There's the .05 is not doing anything. Feature pool is Frieza's super good, but like not relevant. This guy got Zenkai later, but I still think that's not relevant. I think he has a Zenkai that's still not relevant. And Beerus, he has a Zenkai, but not relevant. Enough for me. Frieza was probably one of the best units you gotta get on this banner. Gogeta is so bad. Like I don't want like to be like negative on him, but I think people like him that like him are just like him because he's Gogeta, not because he's actually good. And he just lacks a lot of things. This guy is not good. This guy is just bad. The Jew is alright. This guy is bad. Like everything about this banner is just really bad. This banner, the Gogeta banner, was ended up being one. It's just a shafted banner in general. Like the feature pool sucked compared to Broly's banner. The feature pool is like bad. Gogeta himself is just bad. The elves or not bad, but just like not good. And this is probably one of the most worst banners to come out since then. The GT Broken Futures secondary banner. I think this is a B tier banner. I think you should honestly have skipped it. I just think Full Pound Freeze Go Super Saiyan 4 Goku was over. Not over. It was super overrated, and Omega Shen was just beaten by Vegeta Blue. And even when Vegeta Blue came out in that, he was not good anyway. So I just think this is probably one of the worst banners in hindsight, of course. Even though the Future Bowl was super good. If you wanted something for the Future Bowl, that was fine. Piccolo's banner. Another C banner. I think Piccolo's banner was one of the worst banners to come out because like every unit that came out with it like was underwhelming. The elf was underwhelming for .25, underwhelming of course. And Fiku was alright. And Raz was just bad. And the Future Bowl was just bad. Another banner. I think this is a C tier banner. Like, I think Super Saiyan Free Goku was one of the most shafted banners to come out. Kipu just was not great. His best part of him did not mean anything to me. Or I just didn't like his banner. And finally, Ruined Future. This is an interesting banner here. that I think it will take some time to talk about, but I'm gonna say it's probably an A tier bear. Like, it's not bad bear. It's just not bad bear. It's just not good bear, of course. So that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Last Hope. Last Hope State. That's a weird name, just to be honest. But anyway, the banner units that came out. Vegeta Blue is still pretty good today. Piccolo has Zenkai, no one's gonna have him, so kind of irrelevant. Super Vegeta, he's probably gonna get a Zenkai at some point, so that's not that bad. Go on has Zenkai, you can get him. But it's all depending on if you actually have stars, so. Rose is one of the best units in the game. This guy is honestly very underrated. I don't think he's the best elf. I think he's probably the third best elf after Saiyan and Kid Buu. I think he's the third best one. This guy's super good. Smasu is alright. Trunks is alright. 21. I think she's super good. Like, she's so good in my opinion. And 21, yeah, it's alright. But overall, this bear, like, also gained the free multi, which makes it better than technically over Broly. I just like this future flow better than him. So I'm going to give him an A tier because I think this banner was honestly very great in terms of what happened after the Vegeta and Broly banner, which were one of the worst formats to come out ever. It's kept the format, but it gave us a free multi, which I think makes it miles better than Broly and everyone else. And finally, Kid Buu banner. Oh wait, wasn't Majin Despair? Alright. Majin Despair, Kid Buu. This banner was actually not that bad, honestly. I think it's good as an average banner, of course, but US Goku is still very great. This guy gets a Zenkai, if you can get him, of course, that's very good. Season of Vegeta will probably get a Zenkai and be crazy good. Majin Vegeta. I just don't like him. I just think he's not great. Kid Buu is one of the better elves come out. His vanish and stalling makes him pretty good. He's not just an average unit, which makes him better in my opinion. And this poor Vegeta is pretty good. Like, he's really good with any Goku, so you can use him with Goku, of course. But I think he's relevant. And then I think this Perfect Cell is very good. Vados and Champa. This guy's like a Zenkai, which is alright. And Turles. This banner is actually pretty average in my opinion, but it's just if you really want Kid Buu, this banner, stand for it. And then finally, Ruined Futures, which is honestly very controversial as a banner, of course. Like, I don't know where I would honestly put him, this banner, because, like, Broly came back. He's such a good unit, but I don't think it's going to be too relevant because he's an LF. Vegeta is good, of course. This guy, he's alright. This one you need to have the same guy. Rose. Also, they changed the banner to be very weird. Like, the future was not here. But, anyway, I think Rose just sucks. I think he's worse than Ego Saiyan in every way possible. He's worse than support. Like, he just has no team. And then this, she's alright. It's just, he does very units, of course. So, honestly, this banner is just, might honestly get the C tier featured. Actually, I'll give it B. I'll be more nice. I'll give it B, but very low B. Like, these are honestly the banners. So, looking at this, you can see that most of the good banners are A and above, which A means banners are probably better than most regular banners. S is, of course, better than every banner, every regular banner. Z is like, don't think, summon. The S tier is like, kind of like, if you want to skip, you can, but it's a bad idea. A tier is, if you want to skip, you can skip, but these banners are better than regular banners. B is, probably banners are as good as regular banners, and the Z is just worse banners. Worse, I think, in my opinion, worse than most banners. But the fact that is, a lot of step-ups have actually been A and above, which is pretty easy to think about, even though most of them now are lower than B. So honestly, I think step-ups has pretty good feature, like good history of good banners, of course. A lot of A's, which are better, and of course, making better value. But honestly, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you guys enjoy my banner step-up format, tier list, kind of. If you want to talk about what is your favorite step-up, you can in the bottom comments below, and I hope you guys are